All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Smitching Hour. It's your girl, Molly.
And Alyssa.
And then we also have a fellow Smitch with us, Julia. Say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
What's
I'm
up?
here.
I'm so excited you're here. This is I love having guests, like when it's not just me and Alyssa, even though I love it with all my heart. But
No, I get what you mean. Thank you guys for having me. I'm very excited.
Of course, you can come on anytime you want.
yeah.
Thanks, guys. I feel so special now.
But the reason why you're on is one of the topics is something that you actually requested us to say from a TikTok. So we'll be talking about that later.
Okay.
But to start off this show, we are going to be talking about the Zodiac Killer, which is very spooky. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. Also, wait, oh my god. We forgot candles.
Can we also talk about how we both said spooky at the same time?
Did we?
We did. You're like, it's spooky, and I was like, it's spooky.
Wait, do you have candles?
I do.
Okay, so let's do that first. Oh god.
Oh, do you have tea or coffee? What is that?
This is tea.
Oh, I love tea.
Fine.
Green tea with honey in it because it's just so good for you.
There's this really good tea. It's by Lipton. It's a honey chamomile lemon green tea. Best tea I've ever had.
I know. I've had it before. I love it.
I'm getting lit. Oh, I think I know why I set this on fire. So, okay. I keep burning this glass and I realized how I do it. I thought it was the candle. It's not the candle, it's me. Oh, I also didn't turn on my diffuser. Boop. There we go. Okay. So when I do it, I light it this way, and I shouldn't do that. I should just light it like that.
Yeah.
The tiniest thing I've ever seen.
I don't have the I don't have finger muscles for this.
You don't have the muscles to light a candle?
No, it hurts my finger. I'm using like I thought the other day that I broke my pinky toe. Side note.
That's the worst.
It hurt.
Oh, it's the worst.
Okay, anyway, now that that's done, Zodiac Killer?
Yes. All right, we're gonna get into it. All right, so we're starting off. Our candles are lit. We are ready to go. So our first topic of the day is the Zodiac Killer. So this first article I'm basing this off of is from biography.com, and this is from 2019, so pretty recent. So the Zodiac Killer is someone who took credit for several murders in the late 1960s in the San Francisco Bay Area. He was also never caught. He was linked to at least 5 murders in Northern California between 1968 and 69 and could be responsible for many more. He would taunt the police and leave threats via written letters to local newspapers from 1969 to 1974 before abruptly stopping all communication. To this day, no arrests have been made for the murders the Zodiac Killer took credit for. They remain open. The mystery around the murders has been the subject of many books and movies like the film Zodiac in 2007.
Interesting. So on August 1st, 1969, side note, a day before my birthday.
Wow.
I'm just promoting so much right now. I'm like, my birthday, candles. Anyway, the San Francisco Examiner, San Francisco Chronicle, and the Vallejo Times Herald all received identical handwritten letters in envelopes without a return address. The letters began with, quote, "Dear editor, I am the killer of the 2 teenagers last Christmas at Lake Herman." Oh gosh, I hate when they do that. When like a serial killer is like, you're not gonna catch me, so I'm just gonna write you a letter.
Literally this whole thing. Keep reading, I swear.
Okay. Then containing details about the murders only the killer would have known. He then threatened further attacks if the letter was not printed on the front page of their papers. Each letter closed with a symbol consisting of a circle with a cross through it, in what is now known as the Zodiac Killer's symbol. The letters were also each accompanied by one part of 3-part cipher that he claimed contained his identity.
So he would like try and like drop hints to people, be like, I bet you don't know who I am. Ha ha. Like,
You notice how serial killers always have their like thing?
yeah, that's like his thing.
That's oh god. I mean it's like when a girl's like, I'm quirky. Like that's how serial killers are. It's so weird.
I'm perky. I listen to Billie Eilish. All right. To continue on, local police and FBI worked diligently to track down the killer, but during that time, another letter was sent to the San Francisco Examiner stating it was the Zodiac killer speaking, describing details of more of his murders, then taunting police for not cracking his code and catching him. So he's just like, you guys are dumb, haha. Anyway, days later,
Embarrassing.
what?
That's embarrassing to be a police officer or a detective and the killer is playing games with you because they think you're dumb.
Literally.
They're like, you're bad at your job.
Days later, high school teacher Donald Hardin and his wife Betty solved the cipher. And it said, quote, I like killing people because it is so much fun, end quote. Ew.
That's so weird. Ugh.
It also read, quote, it is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all, end quote. This dude, I don't like him. I'm not
What? I have a lot of questions. Because he says killing people is fun. Strange. That's a little out of the box. I don't really go with that. And then he says that man is the most dangerous animal of all. Well, if you're the killer, then yeah. So, like, what are these people doing to him or her?
We think it's a him.
Him. Okay.
It's definitely a him. I think they
It's definitely a him.
yeah, no woman, whatever.
Well, I feel like there's like a woman would never like be so. I don't even know how to describe it. Like like if let's just say I was the killer, which I'm not obviously because I was not born then, but I wouldn't be like, oh my God, here's like a little symbol and then they'll be able to find me out. Here's a little cipher. Like I would not want to put all that stuff. It's like seems like he's trying to build so much attention to himself. And I feel like a woman would not be doing that.
I feel like he wants to be a known killer like a Ted Bundy or
Yeah, exactly. He wants some kind of like legacy.
he
He wants people to know who he is.
he wants that fame and legacy, so he's gonna keep forcing it. And I'm like, this is not how you promote yourself.
Mm-mm.
If anyone knows, it's us Smitching, saying how you do it.
And that's the crazy part too, is that I'm like, he was probably just killing for fun, and then he's like, all right, this is kind of boring, and he's like, let's spice it up.
Yeah.
Tell the police who it is. Come find me.
He's like, I'm gonna write them a letter directly and be like, hi, it's me. It's like that Ash Nico song.
It's like XOXO Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
And then at the end of like how many seasons, you finally find out who it is.
Oh my goodness.
Mm.
I was thinking the Ash Nico song. He's like, hi, it's me back again, here to remind you.
I love Ash Nico. Anyway, 3 days after the fourth known Zodiac killing of a taxi driver, how many people did he kill in total?
So I think the amount of kills that they know of the Zodiac killer is like 5 to 7 around there.
Oh.
But they believe that there's more that he just didn't know. Because in 1974, he just dropped communication completely, but that didn't stop killings.
Because you see, there's this other killer that we could probably talk about in like a further episode. His name is Henry Lee Lewis. And I watched a documentary on him through Netflix. And basically, he like admitted to killing his girlfriend and like this woman that he lived with or something like that. And then what happened is that he ended up going to jail, and then he was admitting to tons of murders that he might have not even committed, like actually done. And this was because like the police were so desperate for answers and he was admitting to these things. They were showing him photos of the crime scenes. They were showing him locations. And he's like, oh yeah, I did that to her and I did this to her. And they're like, all right, well, you said that happened, so it must have happened. But he was only like convicted for like 11 cases. Because the other ones he was kind of just saying like, yeah, I'll just tell them what they want to hear. Like, it's weird. He was called the confession killer or something like that because he confessed to so many. But anyway, 3 days after the fourth known Zodiac killing of a taxi driver, Paul Steen, the Zodiac killer wrote to the San Francisco Chronicle claiming the crime. It gave details of the murder and came with a bloody scrape of, oh God, I don't like that, Stein's shirt. He then teased how he would next shoot out the tire of a school bus and quote, pick off the kiddies as they come bouncing out.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like when kids get involved.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't like when people are killing anyone, but like when it's children, that hurts. That just, it hurts a different way. The killer continued sending letters to local papers, including more ciphers, claiming more murders and mocking police for their inability to catch him. So then, why did he stop?
No one knows. They were
If
like,
they didn't catch him.
maybe he was just getting mad that no one's finding out. Like, I don't know. So he was like, I give up.
Wasn't there like a conspiracy that oh God, who did they think was the Zodiac killer?
That's actually the next article. It's like I got 4 suspects.
Oh, is it? I know people were making a meme out of it.
Yeah. So actually the next article is from history.com in 2017, and it's just a list of I didn't get all of the suspects. There was like more than 10 in there, so I just got I think I got 4. So there's 2 that are not debunked and 2 that are debunked. Even though the one that is debunked, I don't know. You'll see. I think it is him.
Ted Cruz.
What?
That's the meme. People were saying Ted Cruz was the Zodiac killer.
That's so funny. A lot of people said it could have been Charles Manson.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's another one of his messed up schemes. He's not in this list, but I remember reading that in the other article, the biography. Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't
see that.
I don't know, because like, like it would be not like nice to think, but it would be interesting to think like he would be in like in charge of something like that, like in such a big scale. But I really feel like just with the difference of the crimes, like that it really wasn't him, unless there are like unless there is a lot of evidence and like connecting theories. But just like hearing that, I don't know if I would see it being him.
Also, regarding that, I'm like, if they have one thing, why would they do another thing?
That's true too.
Because he's the one that was in charge of a cult, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, if he's in charge of a cult, why would he take the time out of his day to also be a different killer?
Plus, you would think he would want the attention, since he already is in charge of a cult. He would just want the attention of more murders.
Yeah. And wouldn't it be his like subjects that he would have do his crimes?
Yeah.
Why would he take charge? I don't believe it.
You're like, I don't believe it, but maybe he just that. You never know. People could just like the game.
That's true too. If they're that sick, yeah.
Yeah, or it was like, oh yeah, people won't expect me to be doing this, and now we're thinking, oh yeah, it's not him, but that's what he really wanted.
Exactly.
You don't even know.
It bothers me that there's just some things we'll never know. No matter how much investigation, like it's beyond us now.
JonBenet Ramsey. That's all I gotta say about that.
Oh my gosh! I saw another TikTok on someone doing her story, and I was like, yeah, I'll send you the link to that one.
Yeah, we talked about it in I think it was like our first or second show.
Yeah.
I think we debunked it, like not debunked it, but I think we solved the crime.
We said it was her brother.
I agree. I was just about to say that. Oh my goodness. Have you seen the interview with her brother?
Yes.
like oh yeah.
He's like very nonchalant about it, and he was also like smiling. It was just creepy. It felt off.
Yeah.
Like what? I'm glad we're on the same page with that, because like I've been thinking that ever since I started looking into that story like 10 years ago. I was like, this is.
But here's the thing. At first I thought it was the parents, and then as we went down the line of suspects, I was like, all right, this is a little sus.
Yeah. Parents weren't involved, but it was the brother who did it.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, speaking of suspects, I have the list of suspects who could be the Zodiac killer. So many people were suspected to be the killer. Here are the ones that were the most interesting to investigators. The first one is Lawrence Kane. He worked in the same hotel as Donna Lass, who disappeared in 1978 and was a Zodiac victim. He served in the Navy, where he could have learned coding, which makes sense with the ciphers in the written letters. He also suffered from brain damage from a car crash in 1962, which could have triggered uncontrollable urges. He was arrested for peeping in 1961 and prowling, which, if you guys don't know, that's basically another word for sexual harassment, in 1968. According to police, Kane's name was embedded in one of the ciphers. Also, a San Francisco police officer who probably saw the Zodiac moments after Stein's murder said Kane's photo was closer than any other likeliness he had seen. So
It interests me when people make like those police sketches and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, I have a picture of it.
Because to describe someone like that and then be able to like draw it, and
Yeah.
also to go back and be like, yep, that's the guy. Based on that drawing, that's him.
Hmm.
Like, that's strange to me. I want to see the process of that.
Yeah, like I don't know how they
they're
would do
able to
that.
do that.
Like they have a big nose, but like what kind of big nose? Like they have certain colored eyes. Like, okay, but what are the shapes and stuff? Like you don't know.
Hmm.
Like
Mhm.
that's all very interesting. The only thing that makes me think like, okay, this might be him is just because his name was in the
Yeah, that's my thing. Do you guys want to see a picture of the sketch in case you want like an idea of what he could look like?
Of the Zodiac
Yeah.
killer. He would be dead by now, right?
We don't know.
Unless. No, I'd say he's dead.
You would think so?
Yeah, by now?
Unless he's like super, super
Because
old.
I'm sure by the time he was killing, he was probably in his like 20s or 30s.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could be dead by now.
Yeah, he's
All right, let me share the screen.
I'm surprised on his deathbed he wasn't like, guys, just like, I was a Zodiac killer, joke's on you.
Yeah, that's true. So
Hmm.
that's what the dude looks like.
That's an
Apparently.
awful sketch.
Yeah. Also, it's just a generic white guy. Like
Yeah, yeah.
But also there's no depth to it. When I think of them drawing this stuff, I think of like them using photos for reference. So they'll have like different type of eyes that they go by and they'll be like, all right, which one looks most familiar?
Mm-hmm.
But like where's the je ne sais quoi?
they didn't have like a camera on them where they could take a picture of
Why did they focus so much on the eye details and the ears?
Yeah, I
And
was gonna say the ears are so shaded.
Yeah, what?
that's what I don't get.
And I love his lack of eyebrows. Can we just take a moment?
I can't even tell if does he not have eyebrows or is he just like scrunching his face?
I don't know. Well, if they are, they're mad thin. Because
Also, he looks middle-aged, so I would say he's dead by now.
true.
That
Yeah,
does
he
not
looks like probably like 35 to 40 there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Plus, you can't even tell what color hair he has based on that picture.
But for
His
anyone
glasses are lopsided.
posting this artist like sketch, and I'm living for it. But anyway, for those who are going to be listening via podcast on SoundCloud and Spotify when we release it, it's a picture of the most generic dude you've ever seen in your life. Receding hairline, bunch of wrinkles. He has glasses.
So that's something.
Yeah, and then his ears are extremely shaded, and I don't know why. But anyway, back to
I think that person who drew that just didn't care. They're like, you know what? I've been drawing too long now. How many years has it been? I'm done.
I'm not gonna catch this dude, so I'm not gonna try.
Another one. So there was a second suspect who is Ross Sullivan. The 1966 murder of Sherry Jo Bates in Riverside, California, was known to be very similar to the Zodiac's killings. Staff of the county college's library, which is near where the body was found, said that worker Sullivan made people very uncomfortable and disappeared for several days after the murder. So, all right, that's sketchy.
Yeah.
There's no way, like, after a murder happens, you're like, I'm gonna take my vacation time.
Yeah.
Perfect excuse, vacation. But anyway, Sullivan also had a crew cut and glasses similar to the composite. How do you even say that? Composite?
Composite.
There we go. I don't know how to read. a sketch of the Zodiac Killer. He moved to California in 1967 and was hospitalized many times for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. That's the thing. Okay. Zodiac experts have pointed out how his letters mentioned the Mikado.
Nikito? That
I've never
remember
heard of that.
Yeah, it's that opera. It's like a comic opera by Arthur Sullivan.
Wow. Okay.
If
And which could be a reference to Sullivan's name. I never even knew that existed.
if you like listen to it, you'll know.
Okay.
I can't sing it for you. I'm not.
Go.
Oh no, we're not doing that. But
I feel like anyone can really match that sketch, though.
yeah, that's what
That's
I'm
my
saying.
problem. It's so
Yeah.
generic.
No,
I know like 6 guys that could be that right now. Like,
Yeah.
It's like that photo of the guy from that cow from Barnyards or whatever it is. Do you know
Oh,
what I'm talking about? And
I-
it's like a guy with blue eyes, at least to some extent, looks like this. That's how I feel with this sketch.
he reminds me of. Have you ever seen The Devil Wears Prada?
Yes.
mhm.
You know, I forget his character's name.
Wow, this is the first movie you've talked about, and I've actually known.
Love that. And you know, it's what's his name in the movie? He's the one with the glasses and he's bald and he's like super gay and he's like the assistant or something or like one of the design people.
I think I know who.
Like the secondary character.
Okay.
Pathways.
Oh gosh.
He's also Caesar in The Hunger Games. And he's also in Burlesque.
Yeah, I know. He was also in The Lovely Bones. He actually played the killer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, I hate that guy. That guy
Yeah,
creepy.
he does. He does look like that guy.
Just right? Like with the
Nigel?
slash baldness with the glasses. He looks
Mhm.
like it's the for you guys who don't. It's the guy who's Caesar in The Hunger Games. I forget his name, the actor's name.
He was really good in Burlesque.
Oh yeah, I loved him in
I
that
love
movie.
him in Burlesque. I love him in Devil Wears Prada. It's too good. But that's what he looks like. And you know what? A million other white guys also look like
He's
that.
like
His name is Stanley Tucci.
That's it. I was like,
Mhm.
I love that man. All right. Are we good for our next suspect?
I think we are.
All right. The next one is Arthur Lee Allen, who was portrayed as the prime suspect in Robert Graysmith's book about the Zodiac, which is the book that got adapted into the 2007 film Zodiac. Allen was questioned by police in 1969 and 1971 after a friend told authorities that Allen talked about wanting to kill people and always carried a flashlight to a firearm, just like the Zodiac did. He wore a Zodiac brand watch, this is the one who I am 98% sure it's him. He owned a Zodiac brand watch, owned the same caliber gun used in one of the Zodiac shootings, and told police the bloody knives in his car were for killing chickens, quote unquote, which I feel like is sus. But to continue on.
Well, they kill a chicken. Wouldn't you just snap its neck or something?
Yes. That's how most people do it. Like for farming and stuff.
So.
Yeah, exactly. He was less than honorably discharged from the Navy and was fired from his high school teaching job for sexual assault allegations. The reason why this is ruled out, though, is because Allen didn't match witness descriptions of the Zodiac. Even though there's so much proof there, but whatever. His fingerprints didn't match those found in Paul Stein's cab and believed that, well, hold on. He didn't match the fingerprints in Paul Stein's cab, which believed to be the Zodiac's. His palm print didn't match one found on a Zodiac letter, and his DNA didn't match the partial DNA profile created in 2002 from saliva on an envelope believed to be the Zodiac's. Here's the thing, though. They're saying believed to be the Zodiac, so we don't even know for sure if it is the Zodiac's like possessions. So we don't know if it could be him. So I don't think it's worth
obviously the Zodiac is not in the DNA system. Also, weird thing is that notice how like the government makes it a point to get every single person's DNA. probably so it lessens the mysteries if these things happen because they'll just be able to trace it back to us. In
Mhm.
elementary school, they took my fingerprints and like everyone's fingerprints, and it was supposed to be just for fun, but I doubt it was.
Oh yeah, they did that in my elementary school too. It's like that's what I always thought it was. I thought it was like in case you become like criminalized or something, or you're like on the run, they can date that back.
Yeah.
So
They weren't doing this at that time. They were just like, oh, I'll fingerprint them when I want.
yeah, they would
They're
say
trying to
like,
make sure if we become killers, they find us.
I totally agree with that.
Well, that's how they found the Golden State Killer through what was it? 23andMe through his that was a case that just I read that when I was doing a project on 23andMe last month. They literally found one of his cousins, his DNA through that, and then they found out who it was through 23andMe.
Interesting.
And it's like 40 years old.
I used 23andMe, and like my dad didn't show up as related to me. And I know I'm not adopted.
Alyssa, you really just said that on like live?
Yeah. I know he's my father. Like, but it's just they show more of like your distant relatives and stuff like that. They were showing me a bunch of people from Italy that are like my half cousins and stuff like that, and like seventh cousins down the line. Like, it's weird. But also, there is another suspect, and this is the last one. So there is Richard Marshall. He was a radio operator and movie projectionist who lived in San Francisco near where Stein was murdered. So I feel like a lot of people are connected in relation to Stein specifically.
Mhm.
Out of the people he killed, like you would think there would be like various. But anyway, so Stein was murdered, and visitors to his home told police that they thought he was strange how he would talk about finding, quote, something more exciting than sex. He enjoyed old movies such as The Red Phantom, which was mentioned in the 1974 letter by the Zodiac. He lived in a basement apartment, which the Zodiac also cited. He owned a typewriter similar to the one that Zodiac used, and both wrote with felt tip pens. Okay, so now I'm believing this one and the other one that you were saying.
Yeah, the two
Mhm.
that are debunked are the ones I believe the most.
So
These-
those two are the ones that were debunked.
These are the ones that are debunked. The first two that me and Alyssa read are not debunked. They're still open.
These two should not be. I don't think people know how to do their jobs.
I don't think so either.
Like, I think we should go into this.
I know, right?
Molly, you're graduating, so you can't take back your degree.
I can get my master's. Hello?
You could get it in this.
Probably. Yeah, you can get a master's in anything.
Oh, that'd be cool. You should do it.
I have a bachelor's in communications and media and a master's. What is it called? What is this field called? Oh my god.
Criminal justice?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a good combination, though.
Yeah.
Communication? Yeah.
I work the socials for the local jail. Like
Oh my gosh. Just got a new inmate.
inmate check.
However, him being a suspect was debunked. In 1989 TV interview, Marshall conceded how there were many similarities to him and the Zodiac, but denied himself for being the killer. Okay, well, it's one thing to deny yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, you could
So,
deny
like,
it.
obviously he's gonna deny himself on national television.
Mhm.
It just bothers me how the Zodiac owned up to it, but also didn't. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, you really have the ego to be doing this, but you can't even tell us who you are. Why not on his deathbed? He was like,
It was me, guys.
like, that's all I wanted. It bothers me. Oh, okay. And then Napa County Sheriff's Detective Ken Narlow, who pursued the case for decades, said, quote, Marshall makes good reading, but not a very good suspect in my estimation. Marshall died in a nursing home in 2008. Rest in peace, Marshall. That's also the thing that's sad, is that if you're accused of something, like, even if it goes away because it's not true, like, you were
Mhm.
still accused of it.
Yeah, it's still gonna forever be there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I just almost fell off my beanbag. We're fine.
No, that's not good.
But
And then
out of all of these, which one do you think it is? I think it's the one Arthur Lee Allen. 100%. I don't care if it's debunked.
I think it's him. I feel like there's more information on him.
Yeah, and like how I'm sorry, because we're like, why the Zodiac killer? He wears a Zodiac brand watch. Like that. That's it. Like that's
Mhm.
it to me. Like when I was reading, I was like, and then I saw the next tag, like, why it's debunked, and I was like, no, it's not.
I
Not
was expecting someone to be very into like astrology.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too. But no, their whole thing was like the brand. So I guess like he wears it or something, and that's like his.
The significance of the brand.
I don't know.
Where
He's
they're just like, what should I call myself? Oh wait, that's kind of sick name. Like, are you kidding? I don't know about that.
he looks at his own watch and he's like, oh, we can
Like,
do that.
This could work. But anyway, then the other thing that we wanted to talk about was the Black Dahlia or Dahlia. I don't really know how to say it. But with it, it kind of goes into Zodiac in one of our articles that's next. But I have the TikTok that Julia sent us. So I'm
Yes.
going to share my screen so we could see that. Let's see. Share screen. Yes. Beautiful. Perfect. Wow. Look at that. So this is from TikTok, and I'll just play it.
The most famous murder victim of all time, the Black Dahlia, was killed wearing this rare brooch, and my family has one that looks just like it, passed down from my great-grandparents. Because they lived in the area of the crime, my great-grandpa must have bought it at a nearby shop where the killer pawned it. But this could be the real deal. Maybe they can pull DNA off it. The most famous murder victim of
Okay, I feel like it would be a little late to pull DNA off that.
Yeah, same. I agree.
I think that's still pretty cool. The fact that they have that.
Brooch that you have, and it could be lined up with this whole murder.
Well, there is like a bunch of more TikToks from that guy. I'm pretty sure they did send it into the police.
Interesting.
Did they get anything back?
I can't remember. I watched it, but it was like 3 a.m, so I can't remember.
No, that's how we are watching TikToks.
Yeah, I really don't know when to stop, so it'll just be like, oh, I should go to bed, and it's 1 a.m, and then I wait a few hours.
Last night I saw you read my text at like 5 a.m. and I was like, was she still up or did she wake up?
No, I didn't go to bed till like 6 in the morning. I really tried and I just couldn't.
Like I saw that and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You okay?
I don't know. It was weird because I was like a few minutes ago it felt like it was 1 and then I look at the clock and I'm like, oh no. And the sun's coming up. That's always the worst part.
That's the worst part when you're trying to fall asleep because then I'm like, well, now I can't.
Yeah, I'm like, should I even bother? But I did. I slept for like maybe like 5 hours. Probably less than that. Anyway, going to the story of it. On January 15th, 1947, the body of a young naked woman sliced clean in half at the waist was only a few feet from a sidewalk and posed in such a way that it was thought to be a mannequin at first glance. Despite this extensive mutilation and cuts on the body, there wasn't a drop of blood at the scene, indicating that the young woman had been killed elsewhere. The investigation ensued immediately to find out who the woman was and who killed her, and it was led by the LA Police Department and the FBI.
All right. Through fingerprints, they identified the young woman turned out to be a 22-year-old. Oh, that's creepy. I'm 22.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so my age. So it turned out to be a 22-year-old Hollywood hopeful named Elizabeth Short, later dubbed the Black Dahlia, by the press for her rumored penchant for sheer black clothes and for the Blue Dahlia movie out at the time. Short was born on July 29, 1924 in Boston, Massachusetts, the third of 5 daughters born to Cleo and Phoebe May Sawyer Short. Cleo abandoned the family when Short was 5 years old. At a young age, Short developed a strong affinity for cinema. By her teens, she had set her sights on becoming an actress. This makes me sad. She was like gonna live her life, become an actress, already like had a film out.
That's the thing. Like she was just like starting off.
Yeah. And during like the 40s, that's like 40s and 50s is like was the golden age of cinema. So like that's sad.
In support of LA police, the FBI ran record checks on potential suspects and conducted interviews across the nation. Based on early suspicions that the murderer may have had skills in dissection because the body was so cleanly cut. Agents were also asked to check out a group of students at the University of Southern California Medical School, and in a tantalizing potential break in the case, the Bureau searched for a match to fingerprints found on an anonymous letter that may have been sent to authorities by the killer. Why are killers sending messages? Why?
I don't get it. Like, don't you want to do your deed and then get out before you're caught and just like leave?
That's what I don't get. I'm like, why are you instigating?
But like, I don't get why they're baiting. I don't. But I think it's because they like the game and they want like a type of affirmation and like a legacy behind them.
Yeah.
They want that attention. There's a reason why you're killing someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the prints were never found in FBI files. It's kind of crazy. So it is a mystery, but there's like suspicions. This one guy thought it was his dad.
Yeah, there was actually I watched that. There was like a 60 minutes on it last summer, and I watched like the whole thing. It was super interesting. And the guy was like, yeah, like it has to be him. But I actually just found the other video from the that I sent you guys, the second one. That he did send it into the police to see if they could find DNA off of it. It did match her blood, and it had blood of another guy on it. So then gave information about a relative of the man. So then he contacted the woman, and she wrote him back a letter saying that she thinks it was her father who did it.
Wait, okay.
Goodness, what?
That's so strange. I'm surprised that there was still blood on it.
I guess dried blood. It's on this. It's literally the next video right after the one I just sent you.
Oh my god. That's freaky.
Yeah, he like writes, he calls her and writes her a letter, and then she writes one back saying basically that she's thought it was her father this whole time, and like that just like gives her like more proof to it.
Oh my! Imagine knowing like your father did this. Ugh,
Yeah, I would not be able to
I couldn't live.
like no, I couldn't even imagine.
It's whack. All right. Well, the next article is literally called "I Know Who Killed the Black Dahlia." My own father. So,
Also, I found the TikTok video. Do you want me to share it?
yeah, if you can.
Okay, so this is the second video. Let's see. Share screen. There we go. Okay.
Dahlia was killed wearing my great-grandma's brooch, which I found out was new evidence in the cold case. The DNA results came in, and it's covered with dried blood from a man and a woman. The female blood was a match to the Black Dahlia, and the male blood is a partial match to a Miss Cassidy Coleman, so I decided to give her a call. Hi, Mrs. Coleman? The famed Black Dahlia was killed wearing...
And then there's like another one after it, I'm pretty sure.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The DNA found on this brooch could exonerate all known suspects in the famous murder of the Black Dahlia. The male DNA was a partial match to a Mrs. Coleman. Because she wouldn't respond to my calls, I wrote her a letter concerning her father, and her reply was unnerving. I always suspected he did it, and while others published books implicating their father in the murder, I sat and waited, hoping someone would exonerate my dad. Being a local veterinarian, he was certainly capable of it. Whenever he put down a cat, he'd bring it home to show me, dissecting it on the kitchen table and sometimes carving shapes in its skin to amuse me. I wish you well in your investigation, and I'm glad I could help. Sincerely, Mrs. Cassidy Coleman. Hi, I'm Robert Tolp,
Oh, wait.
and I hope you enjoyed my TikTok murder mystery series. Thank you for watching.
Okay. He just promoted himself.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a weird thing that he was able to like, that's such a weird coincidence to like be able to get that passed down through your family
Mm-hmm.
and like not even know. And then all of a sudden you're this detective
That-
solving a murder mystery.
Wait, can we talk about the fact? Oh, my dad was a veterinarian. He would bring the cats he put down home and then do autopsies after they died, and like it was done.
And just carve stuff into their bodies just to amuse me, because that's what is amusing to little kids, I guess.
He was messed up. Okay, case closed.
We don't even need to be reading the next articles.
No.
Obviously, it's not this guy's dad.
Yeah, I mean we'll still read it, but
Yeah.
let's see what this person says, even though we know. All right. Shortly after receiving the news of his father's death, Steve Hodel, I think it is, a former Los Angeles detective, found himself sorting through his belongings. Through Steve's father, George Hodel, loomed large throughout his childhood, their relationship had always been strained. George was a what is that word? What is it? Was a grand okay, whatever. He was a doctor with a distant personality who abandoned the family shortly after Steve's 9th birthday, eventually moving far away to the Philippines.
So, as he went through his father's possessions, Steve found a photo album tucked away in a box. It was small enough to fit in his palm and bound in wood. Feeling like a voyeur, he pursued it. And in it, he found that it was filled with the unusual pictures, the usual pictures of his mom, his dad, brothers, and so on. And then, as well as portraits of the family taken by the world famous surrealist artist Man Ray, a family friend. But towards the back of the box, something caught his eye. It was two pictures of a young woman, and her eyes were cast downward with curly, deep black hair. And Steve still doesn't know why he had the idea, but as he looked at the images, he thought to himself, my God, that kind of looks like the Black Dahlia. It's pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy. All right.
Well, like, why would his dad have a photo of her? That's the question.
Well,
That's suspicious.
we gonna try and decipher which dad it is who did it. We know it was a dad.
Yeah.
That's part of the investigation.
That's the key evidence, honestly. That's it.
That's it. It's like a Mari episode. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. The personal connection between Short and George Hodel suggested by the album photos seemed outrageous. Hers was one of the most brutal murders in American history. And after the Zodiac Killer's shooting spree in San Francisco, perhaps the most famous unsolved crime in California.
So, crime scene photos showed that Short had been given a hemicorporectomy, a procedure that slices the body beneath the lumbar spine, the only spot where the body can be severed in half without breaking bone. It was thought in the 1930s when George had been in medical school. It was taught in the 1930s when George had been in medical school. I can't speak. And the letters sent to the press and the police from the Black Dahlia Avenger, a man claiming to be Short's killer, also bore a chilling resemblance to his dad's handwriting.
Interesting. Steve isn't the first person to claim to be solved Short's murder. He's not even the first to claim that one of his parents was the killer. Yep. We know that. But Steve has dug up a cache of evidence, including law enforcement files that show that his father topped the LAPD's list of suspects at the time of the crime.
The crazy thing is that he was like researching this for like 30 something years. And
Yeah.
like that's all he did. But part of the intrigue came from the unprecedented brutality of her murder. So before she was killed, Short had been forced to eat feces, and her uterus was removed and other things that I cut out because they were just gory.
Yes.
She had long gashes that extended her mouth into an eerie smile, so kind of similar to that of the Joker, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
And Steve believed he located a trail that connected his father to dozens of murders stretching across California. Details from murders in Los Angeles led Steve to a string of murders in Chicago, which then led him to Manila, and the slaying of a 28-year-old woman named Lucila Lalou. Oh, I like that last name.
Lalou.
Lucila Lalou. That's so cute. Okay. But she passed away. That's kind of upsetting. Okay. So she was dismembered and had been found situated oddly like Short's. Okay. So there's a similarity.
Yeah.
So her body was found scattered about half a mile from his father's home along a street named Zodiac. Steve took it as a clue. I thought, no. There's no way, he told me. He worried that there was no way to accuse his father of the Zodiac murders without seeming loony. I had spent all this time and effort and blood and sweat and tears establishing my credibility in Black Dahlia, and now this guy's saying his dad is also the Zodiac. It's like, oh man.
Yo, when I picked out earlier today that we were gonna do the Zodiac Killer, I did not expect that.
I was surprised when reading these articles and seeing the Zodiac mentioned. I was like, that's kind of creepy.
So that's weird that we did this and then picked Zodiac. That's whack. That's the universe doing something.
That's so strange.
Oh, so what if it was the Zodiac killer all along, and it's all
It's
just
very possible. And the thing is that I know that it's sort of confirmed that it's the other woman's father, but there's still evidence proving that it's his. And he wrote books about it. Like you can find his research and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like it's
That's so
terrifying.
weird. I don't even know what to think now.
right?
I mean, obviously it's proved now, but then I'm like, why is this so?
Maybe there was multiple. I don't know. Like that's just so weird.
That's
Like
possible.
maybe it was two people doing it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was one dad and another dad. They were probably buds, and
That's freaky. Like I don't know why, but when I hear a dad's like a serial killer, I'm just like, what? I don't see a dad being a serial killer.
wasn't Ted Bundy a dad? Like didn't
No, he was like more a stepfather type of
Mhm.
role. Yeah. So yeah, basically a dad.
Yeah,
But it's like also he was like young. Like these are like people who like have their whole like family already and stuff like that.
Nope.
They're already settled down. Like if you're settled down in a family, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, true. All right, to continue on. In February 2013, a team conducted an extensive search of the father's doctor's home, where Steve's dog Buster had previously detected the scent of human decomposition in several areas of the basement. Oh God, according to reports. Following their research, soil samples taken from Dr. Hodel's home was reportedly submitted for lab testing. Other evidence against George Hodel, according to his son, includes an old recording of a conversation between the doctor and an unknown person. What if the unknown person was the other dude? Let me continue.
Wait.
During which Hodel allegedly stated, quote, supposing I did kill the Black Dahlia, they couldn't prove it now. They can't talk to my secretary because she's
Oh, I think that's supposed to be dead.
right, because she's dead, end quote. But what if the unknown person was that other dude from TikTok
Oh my
and it
God.
was intermingled, and the two of them shared the name of the Zodiac killer? Case closed.
I
And
also want to know why they went after her.
I also want to know what these people look like, because if he looks like Caesar from the Hunger Games, we're onto something.
Also, here's my thing is that it doesn't like show like what the lab results were, if like any of them trace back to her or anything. And then it also doesn't like show if that conversation actually happened. Like where's the recording that he was talking about?
Yeah,
I'm gonna look up George Hodel.
do it. If he looks like the Zodiac killer, I swear to God. But
No,
okay. No.
he doesn't. I mean, if he shaved, maybe.
But I mean, guys.
Oh my
Well, okay, I can kind of see it. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you guys so you can see what I'm looking at. He does have, with his mustache, he does not look like him.
Okay.
But otherwise, I can see it, especially in the ears.
All right.
I'm sorry, I
Uh.
had to.
Especially in the ears.
But also in the nose. So if you look,
Yeah.
the nose is very small. Here, I'll bring up the Zodiac killer too. That way we could do a side by side. Interesting. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't want that. Okay. So this is the sketch that we were looking at. Let's see if I could bring that side by side. I might be able to, might not. Okay. Zodiac killer and then George Huddle. Can you see both?
No, I only see one.
Oh, really? Oh, I think I know why. Okay, well, anyway. So we saw what the Zodiac killer looked like. And then it's just without the glasses. I can see it in the eyes because he has very almond shaped but small eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also hooded. And then he also does have that crease in his nose.
I was gonna say that's
Zodiac killer did. So I can see it. And then he was probably working with that other guy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Interesting.
The Smitches solved the crime.
Oh my god.
We
This whole
really-
thing.
Honestly, we're like BuzzFeed Unsolved. I feel like we're always solving crimes.
We really are. I
We're-
think we solved this one.
I'm proud of us.
All right. We still have 10 minutes. I actually found a thing. It has nothing to do with this, so it's not as related, but I found a thing on Instagram and it's like these what if theories.
Mhm.
So if you want, I can read them just to fill in time.
Okay.
I have to find them first because I just saw that we still have a bunch of time left.
Okay. And then also we have co-star check.
Yep. All right. So these are the wildest what if theories. So, number 1. What if when someone's name randomly pops in your mind, it's because they're thinking of you?
Oh, I saw one of those.
Yeah.
That's the freaky thing. I remember reading like, oh, if you see someone in your dream or something like that, that's because they're dreaming of you too.
Do you want to know
Mhm.
one? At least like I don't know if it's like this everywhere else, but like my grandmother and my mom say it, so it could be like an Indian thing. If you like choke on water, you know how when water goes through the wrong pipe, it
Mhm.
means someone's thinking about you.
Hmm.
I don't know. That could be just a weird Indian thing.
My
That-
mom says if your ears are itchy. Like I always get really itchy ears. So she says if someone's if your ears are itchy or if they're ringing, someone's talking about you.
Ooh, that is a good.
Whoa.
Wait, do you want to know actually why your ears ring? The weird former bio major in me knows this. It's because your ear hairs are touching, so it creates the sound, and that's what causes it to itch and make that ringing noise.
Huh. I never would have known that.
Not to debunk your thing, but that's actually why your ears ring. All right, the next one is, what if the reason we haven't gotten visitors from the future is because we have no future? Imagine that one. Because if you think about it, way in the future, I feel like time travel would exist and people could come back. You can't go further in time, but you can go back because it's history.
Yeah, but then like it's like the Back to the Future thing where if anything you do in the past changes everything in the future drastically.
Yeah.
So maybe there's like laws that are like, no, you're not allowed to go in the past.
Maybe.
See, my thing is that like I'd say there is a future, but also at the same time, like the future is uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
So we're never really gonna know. So it's a matter of just like present.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I saw this weird thing. Oh my god, going back to TikTok, literally I've been like on every day. This one girl was saying like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and she was saying how basically everything that happens, everything resets. So like after a certain point in time, the world resets, and that's why you can't remember certain things, and that's why certain things have changed, like
I believe that.
Mandela effect and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it's like scary, and I was watching all her videos. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna reset soon. We're gonna reset. Oh,
we're in the Matrix.
honestly,
Previously we were talking and we were saying like when the world ended or was supposed to end in like 2012, what if that was when it reset?
yeah, that was what she said too. And she was like, yeah, maybe like that's what's gonna happen. And like also, what was it? Y2K.
Yeah.
Yeah, like then too, and like all these different things, like the world reset, and like it's just like a new starting point.
I
You want
believe
to something funny? I'm watching South Park from the beginning, and there's an episode of them celebrating Y2K, and my dumb self just now realized what Y2K meant. If you guys know.
No, what
Wait,
is-
really?
I don't know.
It's literally, so it's the year 2000, Y2K. And that was the millennium.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was to celebrate that. So when the millennium happened, that's when the world reset, is the theory.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was like, I've always heard of like Y2K, but I didn't know what that meant. And my mom was like, it means the year 2000. And I was like, oh, so I'm just dumb. Okay.
Like I knew it was taking place in the year 2000, but I didn't know it actually meant 2000.
Yeah, because my mom was like, oh, on New Year's Eve of 1999, a bunch of like the merch was Y2K.
Mm.
That was like the thing.
I want to recommend you guys something. There's this YouTuber, and every Monday she does a murder
Mystery Mondays.
Monday. Yes.
I
And
never
she
heard
does
of
her makeup and she talks about
This is
different.
Bella Fiore.
Yes.
I love her.
My sister recommended it to me and I feel like you'd like it.
Isn't she great?
Amazing. I just started watching and it's so interesting.
Ooh,
No,
maybe
and she's like very, very like in depth. It's not like she's like making anything up or like just going off of it. Like she knows the
He
story
does a lot of research,
like
yes.
so much. And like every single Monday, like something completely new. Amazing.
Mm.
ooh, I might check it out.
Yeah, you would like it.
And
Plus
maybe
her makeup is really good too. So
That's a crazy thing. Like she's just talking about these things while she's doing her makeup.
I love that.
Like it's crazy.
All right. Should we do co-star check?
Yes.
All right.
Julie, do you have a co-star?
I do have a co-star.
Okay,
Yes.
so what we like to do is we do a co-star check to end our show. And with it, we'll read like our little light bulb, our what we have pressure in, what we have trouble in, power in, and then we'll read like the little description.
Okay, sounds fun.
Alyssa, you're gonna die at mine.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
I read it this morning and I cried. That's how, yeah.
All right, well, at least you
Well,
prepared.
not cry, but like I like was like, oh my God. And I like teared up and I was like, ooh, it's too much.
Oh, I'm excited.
Right? I was like, thank God I read it already because I feel like I don't want my initial like reaction of it to be on camera.
Yeah.
I'm glad it went that well. All right, so my light bulb is let down the armor around your ego today. Because I just have such a big ego. Anyway, I actually have power in a lot. I have power in routine, thinking, creativity, sex and love, and self, pressure and spirituality, and trouble in social life. Which I don't get because I'm being social right now with all of you and I'm having a grand old time. All right, so it says you're ready to tell them how you really feel. It's in your best interest to figure out what you like. Don't let pop culture tell you that love is supposed to be debilitating. Your work this month is to understand the difference between criticizing and helping. When you nag and criticize, you undermine yourself. Ask yourself if you are giving more than what you're getting. The broader focus of your life during this time is to use your excess empathy to lend emotional support to others. Death is not the opposite of life. It is part of the deal that is made when you're born. Nobody gets out of here alive. That's why it's a good idea to make the best of it. Drop mic.
Dang.
Right? The first question, tell them how you really feel. And I was like, no.
I was like, oh
Wait,
wow. When it was saying about social media to like not let that control, like
yeah.
debilitate you.
Yeah. I was like,
Yikes.
right? It was a slap. I literally like was like this, like my mouth like over my mouth. Like I was like, this is not it. But I have power a lot.
I haven't even checked mine. So my light bulb is the trick is to form associations. I have power in social life, pressure in routine and sex and love, trouble with thinking and creativity, spirituality, and self. You're claustrophobic, but just for today. Wait, that's so weird. So because we have to wear masks now when we go out, I don't mind it. But when I'm breathing in the warm air, I feel like I'm suffocating and I get really claustrophobic. And I'm not a claustrophobic person.
Try being in character. That's all I gotta say.
I could never. Like that freaks me out. Like small animals.
Friends with Daffy Duck. It's the worst.
But it says you're claustrophobic, but just for today. You don't need to stunt your own growth. The world will do that for you. Approach yourself with curiosity and not fear. Your desire to change this month depends on your ability to perceive your life. This is a big step for you. Who gets nervous when they feel something getting closer to breaking down their emotional barriers? Make a distinction between your social identity and your private self. The general theme of your life during this period is to learn everything you can about the hidden aspects of the universe. Silence can be more important than speaking.
Ooh. That is a good piece of advice. Silence is more important than speaking, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, yeah, that one is really good.
And then real quick, also, Annabella mentioned that she has the app.
Yes.
And her light bulb is you can begin to prefer being alone than with people who don't encourage your growth. I think that's a good one.
That's a snapper right there.
I think that's a good one because sometimes you just got to cut people off if they're not good for you.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, Julia, what do you got?
My light bulb says, do you set people up to disappoint you? Okay, thank you, co-star, for that. I have power in routine, pressure in spirituality, social life, and self, and trouble with thinking and creativity and sex and love. The point is to put your energy into your public persona. Now is the time for you to spend time with your best friend or partner. Notice how you fit into the world. This month, you have to make a choice between needing privacy and wanting a relationship that consumes you in every way. You're not your best self when you confuse affection with possession. Use this time to reflect on what you really want. Don't settle. The broader focus of your life during this time is to use your excess empathy to lend emotional support to others. This moment is an opportunity to take stock in your life. What have you learned? What will you leave behind? And what are your intentions with your one life? Wow, that was like so deep. Oh my God. I was not expecting that.
When it said, it was like you're not yourself when, it reminded me of the Snickers commercial.
Oh yeah, you're not yourself when you're hungry.
And then also Annabella let us in on some more. So she said she has power in routine, spirituality, and social life.
Ooh.
She's got a lot of power. Pressure in self and trouble in thinking, creativity, and love. See, that's the thing. Because she said, nope. And like, I agree with that. There's times when it'll be like, you have pressure in this or trouble in this. And I'm like,
I'm fine.
Everything's going great.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes I'm like, I'm doing mighty fine. I don't know.
But also, if you look into the explanations, like they vary. So then I could see it from that point of view. If I'm just looking at the general, like, oh, you have problems in thinking and creativity, and I don't read it explaining itself, then I'm like, I don't know about it.
Well, alrighty, guys, before we I was about to read the script and it says, alrighty, guys, before we go, let's do our co-star check. And I'm like, all right, never mind. That ain't it. But thank you guys for joining us for the Smitching Hour.
If you want more spookiness, you can tune in every Saturday from 4 to 5 via Facebook Live and now YouTube.
Yeah, exciting. Also, thank you, Julia, for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun.
You are welcome anytime. I know next year I'll be around. Hopefully.
Yes, I'm still forcing her to come on the show.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna like be the co-host and just sneak in. But also, if you would like, you can check us out on our socials at WMSC Radio on Instagram and Facebook and Spotify, at WMSC on Twitter, WMSC 903 on YouTube, and WMSC Radio 90.3 FM on SoundCloud. And as for our personal accounts, they are.
Molly, what are yours? Do you want me to go?
Oh, it says ... So I thought that meant it's gonna cue to you.
Okay. Well, my Instagram and Twitter is AlyssaGrace_X. YouTube and SoundCloud is Alyssa Salvato. TikTok, not important. Spotify is AlyssaGrace_X101, like Zoe 101.
Love that.
Oh.
Also, all of my socials, every single one, is MollyJean9897. So that is on Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, since this is now a podcast too on both of our Spotify, so you can check us out there as well. But other than that,
Julia, do you want to mention yours?
Yes.
Everything, all of my accounts are under Julia Bulia. So
I love her.
Everyone's starting to call me that now. Like everyone in college, they're like, "Oh, there's Bulia, there's Julia Bulia." I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. I love it. So,
but other than that, we'll see you guys next week. I don't know if it's our last one of the semester. Is it?
I don't think so. I think we have till the end of the semester is like the 5th or the 7th.
Oh, you can keep going. Summer. That's what Annabella said.
Okay. So end of spring semester.
Yeah.
I will be here for summer.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Yes.
I got you.
I have nowhere else to be.
I'll be one of those alumni. DJs who still have a show.
You better.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Okay.
I have attachment issues.
It's the chemistry,
Okay, we can call it that.
the vibes,
The vibes.
the waves. Oh wait, let's blow out our candles so we can end.
All right, so mine is I have Ocean Star, since I live here on the Jersey Shore. Oh my goodness, I feel like the wax is gonna spill everywhere. And then I have my classic Cactus Blossom.
On this episode of Alyssa has not changed her candles yet. They're the same as last week and the week before.
You gotta read them though. Jamaican Me Crazy, that's my favorite.
Jamaican Me Crazy and kudzu. I still have to look up what that is because I have no idea. I think it's a flower.
All right, I'm gonna blow mine out.
Ooh, whoa, an ember
Oh,
almost shot at my face.
oh, cute.
Right? That would have been bad. One time I blew out my candle, fun fact, and the wax blew up at my face.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that's what I was scared of because it's like so liquidy in there right now, and I was like, oh, I don't wanna.
Yes.
I don't want it. I've had hot wax fall, like spill on me before, and it's not fun.
Mhm.
But all right, guys. Until then, we'll see you next week, and have a great week, and live for those spooky vibes and all that fun stuff.